This new way of looking at the world was also apparent in the advances being made by scientists which would, over the century, transform our understanding of nature. Scientific research and experimentation did not banish a belief in witchcraft and superstition overnight. Far from it, but it did provide serious tools for trying to tell the innocent from the guilty. These were applied in 1634 to those women from Lancashire accused of witchcraft. And this was one of the earliest ever cases of what came to be known as forensic science, science relating to the law courts.
The 1612 trial represents an older way of thinking where everything was based on credulity, superstition, everybody willing to believe everything nasty that was said. And by the time you get to 1634, although it's absolutely by no means a scientific era, it seems as though people are behaving in a more rational way, and they're demanding what we would think of as scientific, forensic, objective evidence.
What is shifting in the 17th century, slowly and by fits and starts, is a belief that you have to demonstrate something physically, that if you can't demonstrate it in medicine, you cannot use it as evidence. In other words, that there may be an invisible world of spirits around you, but you have to prove physical effect in order to bring them into a law court.
King James had written in his Demonology that one good way to identify a witch is to look for witches' marks, a place on the body where you could see a teat that had been used by the devil to suckle. All the accused people from Lancashire were examined for these marks, including Janet. Here it says they found Janet Devis 2 paps or marks in her secrets. I think secrets means probably exactly what you think it means. The other 4 people brought to London also had their marks listed. For example, Margaret Johnson, 1 mark or pap betwixt her seat and her secrets. Now, King Charles wanted his own trusted physician, William Harvey, to re-examine the women.
William Harvey is one of the great medical Brits of all time. He is most known for discovering how the blood circulates through the body. He takes his place up there with people like Isaac Newton and Christopher Wren as one of the new forward-looking people of the 17th century who are plugging into a European will to do things better than ever before.
Harvey was sent on more than one occasion to examine witches on the king's orders.
There was a village witch who had a toad as her familiar, not an unfamiliar situation. And William Harvey caught the toad and dissected the toad, and then showed the dissection to the witch to prove to her that it was just a normal toad, that there was nothing supernatural about it. And the woman flew at him and tried to virtually tear his skin off with her nails. "You killed my toad!" She wasn't in the slightest bit grateful that he'd brought science and rationality to her aid. From her point of view, he'd killed her pet and probably removed the foundation stone of her business.
Here in London, Harvey recruited 5 physicians and 10 female midwives to conduct the examination. This time, almost all of the previously suspicious marks were deemed to be nothing unnatural.
And this is actually the way in which witch hunting becomes undone. It's not so much people going in straight for the core and saying, we don't believe in witchcraft. It's people saying we need to be much more careful about how we prosecute because standards of evidence need to be raised. And if you raise a standard of proof high enough in witch trials, they come to an end altogether.
According to William Harvey and his scientific team, there was no physical evidence against any of the prisoners. Everything now rested solely on the evidence of the child. In 1612, Janet Devis had been unflappable in court, cool and consistent. But in 1634, under examination from the Privy Council and the Secretary of State, 10-year-old Edmund Robinson cracked.